And welcome back from Mohawk Indians, Blood Indians Never Lie. We have one of those real world fights. Every once in a while I do one of these. I think I did Bruce Lee versus Jackie Chan or Jet Li versus Jackie Chan at one point. And from him, we have the question of who would win a fight. And we're going to talk about them in their prime because obviously Bruce Lee died very young. Prime Bruce Lee, which would be when he died, versus prime Mike Tyson, which I would imagine, when did Mike Tyson box? I mean, he's been doing some minor boxing, obviously, but he's in his 50s now. He's past his prime, but he's still a beast. I would not want to tangle with Mike Tyson. Let's see here. Let's see here now. When was Mike Tyson professional athlete? Let's see here. He's 58 years old. Good for my old Mike's in good shape for a 58-year-old. Like, he's in amazing shape for a 58-year-old. Again, I would not want to tangle with Mike Tyson. I would not want to take a shot from Mike Tyson even at 58. I wouldn't want to take a shot from him even at like 70-something. I'm sure he'd still kick my ass. Let's see here. He was... All right, when was his reign as a heavyweight? I believe he was a heavyweight, right? Not a super heavy? Yeah, he was just a heavyweight. Let's see. Professional career. Let's see here now. He was started in 88. Okay, he started in the 80s. All right then. When 91? When did he was in prison for a few? I think it was 98. No, yeah, he went into the early 2000s with his career. That's right, if I remember correctly. Then he retired, and yeah. So no, Mike Tyson went a long time, and he was known for having one of the hardest. Was it his right hook? I believe he was known for having one of the hardest hits in boxing. Like again, I want to say it was his right. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I want to say it was his right. I have this information right here, and I can't find that. He was, let's see here. Oh, okay. Known for his ferocious and intimidating boxing style, as well as his controversial behavior inside and outside of the ring, which explains his inspiration for Sonny Liston, a boxer who was widely regarded as the most intimidating man in boxing history. Yeah, I mean, the dude hit like a tank. He also fought dirty as well. And we've even seen him in a movie. I believe it was Ip Man 3 or 4. Where, because I think there's 4 Ip Mans. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It was one of the Ip Mans where he fought the guy who trained Bruce Lee. I mean, granted, it was a movie, it was staged, all that. But we did, in fact, see him fight someone, at least give an idea of how he would handle someone with Bruce Lee's fighting style. Or at least the fighting style that Bruce Lee was initially trained with. And he handled himself pretty well, but Donnie Yen was still able to, match him pretty well as well. They only went for a few minutes, too. So, I mean, Bruce Lee, obviously, Jeet Kune Do, Way of the Intersecting Fist, that was generally what he was trained in, if I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 second. I gotta look up Bruce Lee, because I cannot remember, for the life of me, if Jeet Kune Do was what he ultimately developed, or what he was trained in. Because Bruce Lee, ultimately, what Bruce Lee did was develop his own fighting style, as it was. He started being trained by Master Ip, and then, he was founder of Jeet Kune Do. That's what Jeet Kune Do was what he founded. He was trained in, what was he trained in? Way of the Intercepting Fist. I know he was trained by Ip Man. That's the guy that Donnie Yen allegedly plays. I can't remember the name of that, however. But point is, he was the founder of his own martial art, Jeet Kune Do, which was actually a hybrid of many different martial arts. In fact, it's pretty much all but agreed that he is more or less the founder of mixed martial arts, because that's what he did. He mixed martial arts together, created his own style. Now, a lot of people would say that Bruce Lee would get his ass kicked in today's day and age. And if we're talking about prime Bruce Lee, I mean, what's prime Bruce Lee then at that point? Talking about when he died today? I mean, to be fair, I actually don't know if I'd agree with that. Speed-wise, Bruce Lee literally hit so fast you couldn't see it sometimes. And I've seen a lot of these MMA fighters, and maybe I've just got a better eye, but don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I could react, but I'm saying I can see when the punch is thrown. There are times where you barely saw him move, and he still, put someone on the ground. Uh, and and plus, he wouldn't just fight the way he would. He wouldn't just do the whole like, oh, I'm not trying to intimidate. Yeah, he would. No, he would fight legitimately if you were in an MMA match. But the catch of that statement would be, wouldn't Bruce Lee just continue to evolve his style and grow even better as he went on? Like, I never understood that argument. Oh yeah, he would get his ass kicked today. I'm like, I know, because you're not taking into account how he would have developed further in his career. He was only 32 when he died, for God's sake. Died in July 20th, 1973. If he were alive today, he would be, fun fact, let's see, it's 2004, so it'd be about 51 years. He'd only be, he'd be 83, so he would definitely be on the older side, to be sure. But given the way these guys age, these martial artists age, like the way they like take care of their bodies, he'd still probably look fantastic. Point being, is what I was trying to get, is that both these guys have different styles, but Bruce Lee also had a lot of respect for boxers like Muhammad Ali / Cassius Clay. He had a lot of respect for them, so it's not like he would be disrespecting Mike Tyson. I will say this too: if we're giving them, I'm assuming we would give Lee probably some gloves as well. But Lee would not be just showboating with Mike Tyson. Because he respects them. This isn't like he normally goes in. It's not like he is in the movies. No, if he was in an actual fight, he would fight. So you got to take that into consideration as well. Now that being said, if we're talking about who literally is the fist going to hit harder, that is a little bit more difficult to figure out. You might say it should be Mike Tyson, but keep in mind, one of his training methods, if I remember correctly, where was it? It is. I'm sorry, I'm just reading his infamous fight with Wong Jakman, which is heavily contested even to this day. Let's see here, muscular strike. What was the thing? What was his punching bag like? Because I know his punching bag was like super weighted. Let's see here. According to he started nutrients seriously, developed an interest in healthy food, high protein drinks, vitamins, minerals, blah. They are concluded that achieving a high performance body is akin to maintaining the engine of a high performance automobile. Allegory as one could not keep a car running on a low octane fuel. Blah, blah. He avoided baked goods, refined flour, describing them as providing empty calories and blah blah blah. I remember reading a statement where like his training bag was like 100 and something pounds. It was like super heavy, and he could still move it with his fist. Despite how lean he is, Bruce Lee was insanely physically powerful. So, and unlike Mike, Lee uses his legs too. So he'd trip Mike up, and basically what he would do is he'd probably do a version of the ground and pound if he got Mike to the ground. But that doesn't mean getting hit by Mike Tyson wouldn't put Bruce Lee down, or at least at very minimum wouldn't hurt like hell. Because it would certainly hurt like hell. No one's gonna take a hit. And even like professional boxers who fought him didn't take hits well from him. So that being said, he's definitely got the faster strike, because unfortunately for Mike, one of his downsides is, while he certainly can do a fast hit or not a haymaker, but a swing. He certainly is fast for his size. He is not a speedster. He's more of I think he's a slugger, outboxer, striker, I think it is. I believe the term is, I'm not sure if he's a slugger or an outboxer style. I can't remember that. But he's definitely more of like the hard hits. He's not, he can certainly jab, he can do that, but it's not where his power is coming from. I think that's the best way to put it. His power is coming in from the swing. And if that's the case, Bruce Lee should be able to avoid that, because that's a telegraphed attack right there. It's harder to just come in with a random swing like that as fast as you can. Whereas hitting someone like that in the face, that's something you can do almost immediately. Yeah, that is a much more telegraphed attack, so it's something you can easily avoid if you've got the skill to do so. Whereas something straight to the face, especially if someone's going to maybe if you want to try to two-punch combo here, if you try to throw a swing and they try to say duck, that will give you, you could probably just do that too. But that actually, just physically try doing that, that and that at the same time. Do that and then do this. If you like do that. That's actually not as easy to do, and it's actually a little. It's actually why that's a workout. Really, is that you're working out your pec area. But if you say throw a swing and then throw a jab, that's actually a lot easier. You're like, but that's one of the things you got to think of in the moment. It's not one of those things where you can just, oh yeah, I'll do that. Oh crap, he moved. No, you gotta know, you gotta time that right. And Mike certainly could theoretically do that, but again, Bruce has got the speed advantage. He also is someone who's definitely just going to be able to hit a lot more, just land more shots on his target and hit him hard than Mike is. But that being said, Mike still could land a hit. And while I think Bruce has certainly got the physicality to take the hit, he's going to get rattled. And if he gets too rattled, Mike's going to capitalize on that, especially when we're talking about the grappling and all that, and Mike trying to bite his ear. I'll say this. Getting him in the lock and grappling isn't going to do much in this fight. It's going to be like, but he's like, bites the ear. At that point, Bruce Lee probably is just done with his sorry ass and just starts to dance around him and just start landing shots here or there, especially if he lands it on the jaw. He lands them on the jaw. I can't remember for certain, but I don't believe Tyson had a glass jaw, but I do know he didn't take hits as well as he dished them out, particularly when he got hit in the face. And Bruce Lee hits hard and fast. So he's going to start landing shots where he can. Body, probably going to land a couple to the side. If he gets him in the ribs, that's a problem. The ribs is an area you cannot build up a lot of resistance to because there's just not a lot of meat on your ribs. So if you get a shot to the ribs, that's going to be mostly on bone, and that's going to hurt. The only thing you can kind of do to toughen your ribs up is do repeated strikes to toughen the bone up. But even then, you got to be careful because you could just break your ribs. So it's difficult to say the least. And again, I'll say this, between the two, Bruce is the more intelligent fighter, which means he's going to be able to capitalize on Mike's weaknesses better than Mike can capitalize on Bruce's weaknesses. Long and short of this, I would give the fight to Bruce Lee. I think a martial artist... let's put it this way. If it were just boxing, like just straight boxing, Tyson probably would win. We've seen what happens when MMA fighters just try to straight box against a boxer. The boxer usually wins. I think Conor McGregor tried that and he lost considerably because he's not a straight boxer. He's a mixed martial artist. But if you throw a boxer in the ring and try to have him do mixed martial arts, usually the mixed martial artist is going to win. Now, you've tried to have a boxer fight a martial artist. That's where the question comes in. And I think the answer is usually the fact that because the martial artists can use their entire body and block, grapple, whatever, they're more inclined to win the fight overall, I think. But long and short of it, I would go Bruce Lee. This is just my opinion, though. Who do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.